Okay, let's get started. All right, this is exciting. We're gonna do some mat classes. We're gonna start to do some standing mat class today. And we're also gonna be on the mat, but we're gonna start off with standing and then work our way down, okay? One of the things we wanna do is start to just drop in and become pretty mindful of our bodies. Become mindful of our feet on the mat beneath us. If you kind of just wobble back and forth once or twice, you'll get a sense of how your body feels in terms of balance. Maybe even come to the toes and just gently place the heels back down on the ground. And do that about 2 more times. Again, just getting a sense of the legs, getting a sense of the feet and the body. We're going to begin by closing the eyes once we've kind of took the temperature of our balance in our body. And we're going to bring our hands to our belly. Take a few breaths in and out. Start by allowing the belly to fill up with air. And then on the exhale, allow the belly to soften. Inhale, belly fills up with air. And on the exhale, you soften the belly. And while you're softening the belly, soften the shoulders, soften the knees a little bit by allowing them to bend gently. Let the weight fall from the legs into the heels and into the toes. Relax as much as you can and just breathe. If you want to bring your hands down by the side, you can do so, but just let the fingertips be loose, completely loose. And let go. We're going to do 3 collective breaths together. On your next exhale, allow all the stale air to leave out of the body. And then inhale and breathe in. Let the belly fill up with air. And then exhale, relax the shoulders a little bit more, relax the knees, and let go slowly. Inhale and breathe in. Even hear yourself breathe. Allow the breath to come through the body. Imagine it reaches the toes, and then on the exhale, that same breath leaves the body, traveling back all the way up through maybe the back, through the shoulders, through the neck, through the nose. Inhale, breathe in, last one. And exhale, let go. Beautiful. I'm going to start by taking our hands and bringing our arms slowly overhead. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. You're standing in mountain's pose. And just pause here for a moment. Allow the full length of your body to become aware, become one with your awareness, from the tips of your fingers all the way down to your feet. And then gently bring your hands down by the side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come by the side. Beautiful. Arms are going to rise again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your hands up, lift up, reach up out of your pelvic bowl and back bend slightly on the exhale and gaze up. Now you don't have to back bend a lot, right? Even just a little bit is fine. If it is in your practice to back bend, you want to just soften the knees a little bit and lift up out of that pelvic bowl and look up a little bit more. Again, that's up to you. And then bring the hands down by the sides. Slowly though. No rushing, no forcing. Let's do 2 more of those, but I want you this time to bend the knees and allow the arms to reach up. It's matching the movement. Take the gaze up, look up, back bending slightly. And then exhale, hands start to come down by the side. But again, I want you to bend the knees to match the hands. Inhale, breathe in. Allow the motion to be fluid. And now exhale, breathe out. And hands come down by the sides. That was the last one. We're going to bring our shoulder blades up towards our ears. So bring your shoulders up towards the ears. And then gently allow them to fall away. You're kind of pressing forward. So the shoulder blades come up and they're doing the guidance to the arms. And then we come down so that the chest kind of comes forward. Do 4 of these in all, matching breath to movement. Try not to rush. Just slow down a little bit and let it go. And then we're going to come back forward, and this time we're going to lift up from our chest, and then we're going to roll our shoulder blades back. And it's almost like if we had a penny, we would take that penny and put it in between our shoulder blades, and we'd be able to hold that penny between our blades. And then we lift up again, and then roll back. If you want to even bend the knees a little bit, you can. Roll back, breathing in, and then exhaling and rolling back. Good job. We're going to take the chin, drop the chin into the chest, and really just let the chin hang there. Now, the chin doesn't actually have to touch the chest, but if you wanted to, you can do that. That means you have to add a little extra force in order for that to happen. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder and just allow your right ear to hang there. Take your left hand, and I want you to just make it like flat like a pancake, okay? So where it's parallel to the floor beneath you. And just kind of take the hand forward and backwards. Breathing in and breathing out. It's like you're washing something. Last one. And now take that hand, and just like a robot, I want you to just keep the knees soft while you do this, but I want you to bring that hand behind you. And you're just bringing the arm in this forward motion, like a tick-tock, forward and back. Your robot is a tick-tock. And then bring that hand and allow it to rest. Chin comes back down to the center chest, and bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And just pause there for a moment. Again, keep the knees soft. You want to have nice, soft knees. Breathe in and breathe out. And then take your right hand and have it flat like a pancake so that it's parallel to the ground beneath you. Breathe in and breathe out, and then when you're ready, you can start to do your rotations. And what you're doing is you're just gently loosening and softening up the muscle tissue around the shoulder blades and around the shoulder and neck body. This is just a gentle movement. And then we're going to bring that arm behind us. Again, our tick-tock robot. Inhaling, the elbow comes up. Exhaling, we come down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 2 more. And then drop the hands by the side. Drop the chin back into the chest. Take the fingertips, bring it to the top of the head. And just allow your hands to sit there. Let the elbows just kind of sink down and let the weight fall from the fingertips that are cuffing the head into the elbows. So it's basically just gravity. Rub the hands by the side. Take the head back up to eye-side gaze. Next pose we're going to come into is chair pose. But we're not going to come all the way down. What we're going to do is we're just going to start to activate the muscles in our belly and in our thighs, okay? So give yourself enough room between your legs, about hips width apart. If you don't know what your hips width apart is, it is your 2 fists pressed together, and you would hug the knees around the outside of the fist, okay? All right, we're going to come back up. Arms are going to come overhead. We're going to roll them away from the ears. It's really important that we're not keeping our shoulders up at the ears. We want to roll it back away. Take a breath in and then slowly start to sit into your chair. Now you don't have to go very far into your chair. Some people come all the way down. Some people are only tilted slightly forward. So I'm going to go somewhere in between. What I want you to do though is focus on cleaning it up. So if your belly is protruding out, I want you to just kind of bring the belly in towards the navel and kind of tuck that tailbone down and bend those knees, okay? Keep them bent. Now, even if it's light, keep them bent. Roll the shoulders away from the ears a little bit more. And just feel the weight fall from your toes into your heels. And when you look down, you should be able to see your toes. So if your knees are running over your toes like this, what you want to do is you want to just kind of pull them back. Again, tucking in that tailbone, bringing in the belly. Imagine wrapping the ab muscles around the belly body. And then we sit in a little bit lower. Last breath and then come back out. Arms come down by the side. And pause for a moment. Now you should start to feel your body getting warm. We're going to do 2 more of those. Bring the hands up. Arms lift overhead. Come down. Make sure you find your place. If you've gone, wherever you've gone, I want you to take it just a millimeter more. Sit into it just a little bit more. Believe that you can do it. Lift your fingertips forward, coming towards me, and roll those shoulders back. So you're lifting up out of the chest, and your chest is lifting out of the pelvic bowl, so your rib cage is extended. So think about lifting out like a flower lifts up out of the ground, rooted towards the sun. As the flower doesn't just touch the sun, it has to come up out of the root. Come back up, and bring the hands back down by the side. Keep that in mind. You're coming through the root. And it can go a millimeter more. I say go a millimeter more. Sit a little bit lower. Feel the muscles in your thighs. Allow them to activate. Maybe squeeze the glutes. Soften the knees, but squeeze the glutes. Feel the belly getting strong. Feel the power. Okay? Breathe in and breathe out and come back up. I wasn't going to keep you in that too long. And then bring the hands down by the side. Our next thing we're going to do is we're just going to shake that all out. So I want you to give yourself a little bit of space in between your legs and just start to twist. Now look behind you when you twist, okay? So I really want you to take your chin looking over that chest, and like a child, when you were little, you would just kind of hit each side. I want you to go ahead and do that. And allow your back body to gently twist. You might even hear a few cracks. And allow your heels to lift up. So your toes might even crack while you do this. But breathe. Do your best to keep steady with the breath. 4 more. Awesome. Good job. Good job. Great job. We're going to come back to steady, and we're just going to stay here for a second. I want you to notice your body. Get a sense of how you felt a few moments before and how you feel now. And try to relax once again. Notice the breath. Take the temperature from the top of the head down to the feet. Beautiful, beautiful. Breathe in and breathe out. On your next inhale in, I want you to take your right foot and just wiggle the toes. You're going to bring your right foot about 3 feet apart, 2 to 3 feet apart. If you do a lot of yoga and that's something that you do on a regular basis, you might want to go 4 feet apart. Okay, so you can go even further. It's really up to you, where you feel comfortable. If you don't feel so comfortable going even 2 feet apart, bring your feet about a foot apart. You're going to take your right foot and you're going to point it towards the right wall. Your left foot is going to stay forward facing me, so it's at a 45-degree angle. Give yourself a little bit of space in between your feet, just so you don't feel wobbly. You should not feel like you're going to fall off balance here. You're going to gently start to soften the knee, and as you soften the knee, you're going to bend the knee. So now the knee is stacked on top of the ankle, and the hip is pulled back, okay? So we're going to bring our hands out. We're going to look over our right hands. If you want to sit a little bit lower, you can. Breathe in and out. Continue to look over that shoulder. And then you're going to gently start to tilt your body down like an airplane, resting your right forearm on the right thigh. You're going to look up, pivoting the left shoulder, taking your gaze up your arm. And it's imagine that you're seeing the inside of your elbow. You're looking up, fingertips reach the ceiling. Try not to allow that shoulder to be crunched up into your ears. You want to continue to keep the hand up. Breathe in and breathe out. And be gentle. Gently, we're going to take that left hand and we're going to bring it towards the left wall, and we're going to use it like somebody's pulling our hand and pulling us out of the pose. And that's going to help us to lift up and elevate. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to sky flip the palm, and then we're going to bring that left hand down onto our left thigh. Our right fingertips are up towards the sky, and we can sit a little bit lower. Peaceful warrior. Reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. You can call it either. Now, as you're here, you want to just make sure that your right thigh is completely engaged. So if you want to sit up a little bit taller out of your root, just like when we were doing through the chair pose, you can, lifting up from the hips through the rib cage into the chest. And bring the hand back down. Now we're in warrior two. Now bring both feet so that they're facing the wall in front of you, and I just want you to bring your thighs to a place where you feel them completely engaged, softening the knees, coming down, lifting up the arms. This is goddess pose. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the hands parallel to one another. They're not touching, but right side, left side facing each other. And you can sit a little bit lower. And just kind of lean back and forth. Start to just straighten out the leg. You're stretching the full length. But you're not going too far. You're basically coming into like a triangle, and you're bending your right leg and your left leg. And then we come back to center, and then lift up and bring the hands down by the side. And now let's shake it out again. If you want your hands to flop on top of your body, you can. But you don't have to. If you feel more free just keeping your hands up, you can do that as well. And you're just going to continue to twist back and forth for about 5 more times. You're just shaking up what you did on the right side. Make sure you don't hold the breath. Keep breathing. Good job. You're doing a great job. Come back to center. Great, great, great. We're going to do the left side now. So what I want you to do is open up the legs. Find that place. Now, fair warning, okay? And soften the knees. Fair warning. Your right side and your left side could be completely different, all right? So if you felt comfortable going 2 feet on your right side or 3 feet on your right side, you may not feel like that on your left. What I want you to do is honor your body and accommodate that, okay? So find that space, find your happy zone. You're going to take your left foot and face it towards the left wall. All right, your right foot is going to stay facing forward towards the wall in front of you, and that's a 45-degree angle. You're going to just bend the knee on the left side so that the left knee is stacked on top of the left ankle. All right. Here we go. Arms extend out. Look over your left hand. And stay here for a moment. This is warrior two. You're welcome to fix it up a little bit. Maybe engage the thigh. Imagine that there's maybe a ball in between your legs, so you're lifting up out of that root right here, that pelvic bowl area through that rib cage. Sit a little bit lower. Breathe in and breathe out. 2 more breaths. And you're going to come into side angle, bringing your left arm down, relaxing on top of the thigh, the left thigh. The right hand comes up. You're going to look up, taking your gaze all the way towards the ceiling. You're looking at the inner arm, okay? So your elbow should be outside. You should not see your elbow. You should be looking up that inner arm all the way to the palm of the hands. Pivoting, open the right shoulder. You can even press more into your right foot, and that will help you get a little bit more lift. One more breath. Bring that right hand like somebody's about to say hello, so you're bringing it back to ease, and somebody's lifting it up and pulling you out of the pose. Both hands now are extended out. You're going to come into reverse warrior, taking that right hand, bringing it onto the thigh. Take the gaze up, look up. Breathe in and out. At any point, if you feel like you need to take a break, take a break. Also, if you need to adjust the feet, adjust the feet. They're not glued to the mat, okay? I'm just moving them for the sake of moving them. Try to make sure you're always listening to yourself. Do your best. Go with your own flow and your own breath. Hands come back to warrior two. We're going to toe heel the foot together. We're now standing like a starfish. We're going to bend our knees and bend our arms, come back into goddess pose. Breathe in and out. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then you want to just kind of shift your weight back and forth, stretching out the opposite leg. And you're just getting a nice little hamstring stretch here. Squeeze the core, keep it completely engaged. You're pressing into the outer rims of the feet. Each time that you go to the left and to the right, you can feel that. You can feel that shift of weight, and then come back to center. And bring the hands down by the side, lift up, and come back to your base mountain pose. Take the hands and shake them out one more time. Breathe in and out. 2 and 1. All right, we're going to come back to standing. Next thing we're going to do is a little bit of balance before we go down to the mat, because once we go down to the mat in this class today, we're not going to be getting back up, okay? So we're going to take our weight and we're going to shift that weight. So take your right foot and wiggle the right foot. Shift the weight into the right foot. You're going to take your left foot and your toes are going to remain on the mat. But you want to try to bring that foot in so that the heel is right above the ankle. You can stay just like this. This is the beginning of tree pose. This is a completely valid place to be in tree pose. We have 3 different modifications. Take a breath and just notice what your body feels like. Notice the balancing points on your feet. Notice the toes. Notice the belly, engage the belly. If you're kind of slouching down, I want you to engage it. The next modification, if you feel like it's in your practice, is you're pressing your foot on the foreleg, on the inner foreleg. It's not on top of the knee and it's not on top of the ankle, no joints. The foot is right in between the leg and it's right on the meaty part of the muscle, okay? You can stay just like this, again, making sure you're completely engaged and active. Or you can come to the third part, which is more advanced. Here's the other thing with tree. If you're near a wall, okay, so here's my wall back here. You can use your wall for balance, and then you can just gently pull away no matter where you are, okay? You can gently pull away, and I'll do it on this side too. So you can find that space where you feel most comfortable or where you want to challenge yourself, and then you can use the wall as a crutch, okay? So find your home for your tree pose. I'm going to go somewhere in between. Make sure that the body's fully engaged, and now bring your arms to a place where you feel like you can kind of lose your balance a little bit, but then you're not really falling. and you just kind of feel this wobbliness. And if you are not wobbling at all, I want you to engage just a little bit more and maybe test out bringing your hands up to a different place. Because part of this and part of the way we learn is through having a little bit of wobble. Nothing that's going to hurt us, it's just going to our boundaries. Okay? And when you find your place, I want you to breathe. And now, if you have this opportunity to go a little bit further into the practice, I want you to try to challenge yourself to go a little bit further. So if your foot is maybe down on the first modification, maybe you start trying the second. If you're on the second, maybe you start trying the third. You're going to start to really feel the strength gain inside of the right foot. The toes are kind of webbed, and if you don't know what web means, it's just pressed flat onto the mat. It's like if you would take your toes and crunch them together, what you would do is actually lift the mat up a little bit. But in this case, we're not actually going to lift the mat up. We're just going to keep them pressed down like we're preparing to do that. And now sit up a little bit taller. 3, 2, 1. Woo! That felt good, right? Now shake it out. Breathe in and out, and let's do our twist. Just to break up that energy, all that work that we just did. All right, awesome. All right, great. So now we're going to do the other leg. So what I want you to do is just gain a sense of this moment of transition first. There's nothing wrong with taking the opportunity to pause a second and just notice the body. You're going to start to lean over towards the left side. Feel the weight fall into the left foot. And if you're on the wrong foot, you kind of wiggle the left toes, and that will get you back to where you need to go. Once you find that home for your foot on the right side, I want you to bring your hands out. Remember, we have 3 modifications. So the toes to the heel right above the ankle, the foot on the foreleg, or the foot on the thigh. If you're holding on to the wall, right, you're welcome to hold on to the wall. All right, so this is your first 2, and like I said, we go in deeper. Okay, so we go in deeper during the middle of tree pose. So you don't have to push yourself right now. Just give yourself an opportunity to get acquainted with the pose. Find your home for your hands, where you're pushing on that boundary. Use your breath to make peace. Use the strength in your body. The belly, the thighs, the glutes to all help you through the pose. And then when you feel like it's up to you, when you feel like you're ready, maybe go a little bit deeper. Maybe challenge yourself just a little bit more, taking it up another level. If you need to use the wall, use the wall. Breathe in and out. Nice long leg. The left toes are webbed, like they're able to grip the mat, like they're preparing to grip the mat underneath you. They're spread out. You feel the heel. You feel the 2 balls underneath the feet, all of that. 3, 2, 1. Bring that foot down, shake it out. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we are making great time. Awesome. Let's do our last twist back and forth. Notice the way you feel, notice the breath. Don't hold the breath. Continue to breathe in and out. All right. So make sure you're standing on your mat now the long way. All right, if you're not already. Soften the knees, lift up the hands. You're going to gently start to bend the knees down like you were coming through chair pose, and then bring your hands onto the mat and find a way to get down in a safe way. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to stretch out the legs in front of us. Breathe in and breathe out. Take our hands, lift them up, reach them up overhead. And bring the hands behind us. So you're stretching your hands up so that you feel a length inside your arms, and you're just pausing for a moment. Because we just transitioned from standing to the ground, we just want to take a second to just feel the full length of our body, completely embracing it. If you feel comfortable bringing your hands to the side and taking them back out from back behind your body, you can. If you want to keep them there a little bit longer, you can do that as well. Breathe in and out. Next thing we're going to do is lift our hands up overhead, and we're going to look over towards the right side. Both hands frame the right leg. Lift up a little bit more out the pelvic bowl, roll the shoulder blades down, gently start to press the chest towards the thigh, and then drop the chin to the chest. Fingertips on the toes or anywhere on the lower leg. Even if you feel like you can only get to the thigh, that's fine too. You just want to bring both fingertips in that direction. Breathe in and breathe out. Take the left hand, lift up, and use that left hand as a guide to help you lift out of the pose. Arms rise, and then we're going to take our hands, frame the left side of our leg. So the full left leg is framed. We're going to lift up out the pelvic bowl and start to press our chest and our legs down towards the thigh. Wherever you are when it comes to your grip is fine. If you need to soften the knee to try to go a little bit deeper, you can. But just find a home for your hands. This is no force, no tension. Dropping the chin to the chest. Really allowing the body to be loose. And when I say the body to be loose, the shoulder blades, the back body, the thighs, the belly. Then we're going to bring both hands to both toes. Again, if you want to soften the knees and you need to bend them up, you can do that as well. If you're a little bit more flexible, you can bring the legs all the way down. Just gripping the big toe, chin to the chest. And if you want, you can start to lower your elbows towards the knees. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Arms rise, lift up, reach up overhead. Hands come to the mat. We're going to take our left knee and our right knee, kick them back, and come into a tabletop position. And we're just going to stay here in our tabletop. If for some reason you feel like your knees, if you need extra padding and support for your knees, you can take your mat and you can always roll your mat for your knees, okay? You can always roll your mat for your knees, but you don't have to. All right, so straighten out the back body. Make sure that the knees are hips width apart. Make sure that the hands are also shoulders length apart. All right, so I'll show you what that looks like from this perception. I'm kind of just right in line with the full body. You can actually kind of see a hole through my body, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. And we're slowly just going to take our right hip, and we're going to bring our right hip towards the front of the room, and we're going to take our chin, and we're going to look over our right shoulder, like we're looking behind us and we can see our hip. And then we're going to come over to the left, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go to the left side. So now we're going to go to the left side of the room, and we're going to poke our left hip out. Okay? So we're going to poke that left hip out. We're going to look behind us, looking over that left shoulder. And it's like we're making an S. And then we're going to come over again towards our right side. And then towards our left. 2 more. Really look behind you and just feel the spine start to loosen up. Beautiful, beautiful. Next, we're going to take our toes, we're going to kind of flip them under, and we're going to sit our hips towards our heels and bring our arms down to the mat and bring our head down to the mat for child's pose. It's the first child's pose of the class. If you want to open up your legs, you can open up your legs. If you want to keep your legs together, you can keep your legs together. So there are all these options, all right? And if you want to take your feet and even press them down to the ground, you can do that as well. So they will all give you a different sensation and a different feeling, okay? I was just showing you a couple of different ones. Take a few more breaths and really allow the breath to travel through the chest body, pressing onto the thighs. And on the exhale, soften so much that the head melts down to the mat. The shoulder blades are loose, the fingertips are loose, the feet are loose. No stress, no tension. And on the next inhale, come back up. Bringing the weight into your palms of your hands. And we're going to come into a few cat-cows. We're going to take the chin, drop it into the chest. We're going to take our back body, and it's going to lift up towards the ceiling. The hips are going to drop down through the thighs. So imagine like you're spinning your hips down into your thighs. And this is our scared cat. Imagine a scared cat. The back, it just completely lifts up. Then we're going to reverse and come into cow. Our bellies come towards the mat. Our hips, though, rise up like an air balloon, and our head rises up as well. It's almost like if there was a string, it would be connected to our hip and our head. Our belly would have a different string, and that string at our belly would be pulling down towards the mat, while the string for our hips and our head right now are pulling it up towards the ceiling. Then we reverse. All this weight continues to fall into the palm of the hands. We're continuing to elevate our bodies through our muscles. So our muscles are completely active in this. Our muscles from our arms, our muscles from our belly, our muscles from our thighs. This is an active pose. Even though we're focusing and isolating this belly and this back movement. Do two more. And then one more. Great, and come back down to your child's pose. Head comes down to the mat. Breathe in and breathe out. And you can shake your head back and forth, yes and no, a few times. Come back up. And we're going to take our legs under again, but this time, instead of going forward, we're going to come onto our mats the long way. Our knees are going to be bent. Our feet are pressed onto the ground. So we're going to keep our hands up. And we're going to start to just kind of tilt back slightly. And I want you to just stay here for a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Hands are parallel to one another. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Look up, gaze up, and then come back forward. Beautiful. All right, let's do that again. Hands come up. We're going to roll back slightly, lifting up a little bit more out the pelvic bowl. And if you like, you can lift up your right foot. And if you want to lift up your left too, you can and come into boat pose, but you don't have to. You can keep just maybe your toes down on the ground or even your full foot and just continue to lift up, squeezing the muscles around the ab body. And then come back forward. We're going to lift up one more time. Come back if you can, lifting up out of the pelvic bowl. Breathe in and breathe out. And bring the feet down. Last one. Hands come down to the sides of you and kick your feet out in front of you. Okay, and just kind of bend them up and down. Shake out any of the energy that might be still in there, that's still tense. Lifting up a little bit taller. Slowly start to come down, bringing our hands towards our legs. If you want to keep the knees bent, you can as you come towards the toes, but you can also just go for this sense of relaxation where your hands fall to the side. So your forward fold, your seated forward fold has a lot of different options and variations. Today I'm going to go for the straight leg and start to just press my pancake, my belly down towards my thighs. I want you to do what's best for you. Breathing in and breathing out. And slowly come back up, arms rise, lift up overhead. Bring the feet back into a bent position. Okay? We're going to slowly lower down, but this time we're going to come all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. All right? You can lift your hands behind you if you like. Completely stretching out the arm body. And then wrap your knees. So you're going to bring your knees to your chest and you're going to wrap your arms around your knees. And just roll back and forth. Up and down, left and right. And just stay there for a moment and give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe even smile. Breathing in and breathing out. Next, we're going to come into happy baby. So you can take your knees, bend them, but bend the knees so that they fall to the sides of your body. Take your fingertips and wrap them around your toes, kicking your right foot up and then your left, and just kind of roll back and forth. Inhaling and exhaling. And gently, we're going to just rest in our happy baby pose. We can then take our two feet, press them together, wrap our hands around the feet body, and come into butterfly. And just do butterfly the best you can. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep your back body completely straight on the ground. Relaxing the full part of the back all the way to the sits bone. You can feel your full spine on the back, on the ground, on the mat. Open up the legs once again. And if it's in your practice to do so, you can come up into a shoulder stand, just kicking the feet up. If it's not, you can just keep your feet down on the mat. And you can just kind of kick up a little bit higher and just know that this is a practice over time. So give yourself the time to be able to learn and get comfortable with shoulder stands. And then we're going to gently lower down vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down into Savasana. If you like to do any last minute poses, you can do so now. Otherwise, bring your hands by your sides. Allow the palms to flip up towards the ceiling. If you want to keep the knees bent like this, for whatever reason, you're welcome to do that, okay? And start to allow the body to just relax. Relax the feet, the legs, the thighs. Relax the chest, the belly, the back. Relax the arms, the elbows, the hands, and the fingertips. Relax the head, the face. Completely allowing the breath to come through the body and back out. And for the remainder of this class, we're going to stay in Savasana. Make sure you congratulate yourself on a job well done. And continue to keep that vibe and energy with you through each breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And you're welcome to stay in Savasana as long as you like by leaving the session now. Otherwise, we will conclude class together. You can come to either your right or left side and roll over and cradle. Give yourself an opportunity to just restore for a moment as you get ready to come back up. Press your hands into the ground. Come back up to sitting. We're going to cross our feet or cross our legs. Take a few breaths together to close class. Completely filled with a sense of gratitude, self-compassion, and love. Bring your hands, lift them up, reach them up overhead. Hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you.